So I'm definitely in the mood to mood read again, just like I did the last reading vlog, and I'm going to continue to do so from my autumn TBR pile, or what's left of it. And I actually already kind of know what I want to get into right now, just because I feel like I need to start reading this now, or I might not read it again this year, and I'll be super disappointed in myself if I do that again. But anyway, that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I am so looking forward to starting this book. So this book follows a woman who falls in love with a widower, and she goes to move into his house, and it is haunted by his dead wife, Rebecca. I don't know anything else about this book going into it, but I don't think I need to. That sounds amazing, and obviously this book is very well loved. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping this is going to be a 5-star read. It's kind of giving 5-star vibes, so. And then I think I'm also going to start this collection of poetry either tonight or tomorrow called Poems Bewitched and Haunted. This is just like a collection of Halloween type poetry all bound up into one little book. So this is definitely going to be a fun one to read over the next few weeks leading up to Halloween. So I think I am going to kind of put my PJs on and get comfy on my couch and then probably pick one of these two books to read. So I've definitely not read as much as I had anticipated I would have read by now. I ended up getting the flu, so I have not had the attention span to actually read a novel. I am 5 pages into Rebecca, and I honestly don't even know what's going on. I might have to reread those first 4 pages because I did not retain any of the information from it at all. So I definitely need to get back into that one. I have, however, got 105 pages into this collection of poetry. I definitely find poetry is a lot easier to read while I'm sick, just because it does not take a huge attention span to really figure out what's happening, and poems only tend to be so long as well, so I could read it in kind of short bursts and take long breaks. But I did get outside a little bit and just sit in the grass and read a little bit of poetry for the past few days just to kind of get some fresh air and also kind of read a little bit for this vlog. But I'm definitely behind on what I thought I was going to be. So I'm thinking right now I'm going to probably restart Rebecca and just sit here and read as much as I can for the next like half hour or so, and then my boyfriend and I are gonna go to the park and sit at a bench and read, and I might either bring Rebecca or poetry. Probably poetry, just because I find I get easily distracted when we're in a public space and it's hard to pay attention to the plot of the story if I'm constantly looking at things around me. But if this gets really good or I'm really into it in the next half hour, I might end up bringing this one instead. I don't know yet, but then when we come home from that a little later, hopefully I will get back into Rebecca. have gotten to page 168 of Rebecca, and I am loving this book so, so much. It is so beautifully written, and the way that Rebecca is haunting the lives of the people that she left behind has definitely so far been more implied than an actual literal haunting. But it is so cleverly written in that way, and it's spooky and chilling, but not in an in-your-face sort of way. Yes. She wants to chew on my bookmark. I also really love the main character. She's very relatable to me. She's super shy and socially awkward and has a lot of like anxiety and social anxiety. I'm loving this book so far. It's definitely giving 5-star vibes and I'm not even halfway yet. So I cannot wait to keep reading more of this. I think I'm actually going to sit here and keep reading a little bit more tonight and then hopefully finish it within the next couple of days because I have not wanted to put this book down and I cannot wait to see where it goes. I just finished Rebecca. Wow, I really wish I would have read this one a lot sooner. I loved it so much. There was never a dull moment. It was so good. The writing was absolutely beautiful. The story was just amazing. So well written, so well thought out, and certain things I guessed at and other things were a complete surprise to me. Definitely 5 stars. This book was absolutely perfect. There's nothing I would change about it at all. And I think it's safe to say it's actually probably like one of the best books I've ever read. And that is a very bold statement, but that is honestly how I feel about it. I cannot wait to read this book again. Such a good book. It's so beautiful and haunting, and the ending was perfect for the story. I'm definitely going to be looking more into Daphne du Maurier's other works as well, because they're definitely not as famous as this one. I don't think I've ever heard of any of the other ones, but she has quite a bit of fiction. She's also written some nonfiction as well. But I would love to read some of her other works and see if they're just as good as Rebecca. I'm kind of scared to read anything after this one, just because I feel like nothing's going to compare to it. So I think for the rest of tonight, I might just read a little bit of poetry because I don't really want to start anything new and, like I said, not have it live up to that one, because I honestly did not want Rebecca to end and I am a little sad now that it's over and I don't really want to read anything else except for Rebecca. That truly is the downside to finding like a perfect 5-star read, is that everything after it just is not the same. So I think I'm gonna go with poetry tonight, and then maybe later tonight or tomorrow, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, I think I'm gonna start Twistwood Tales. This is a cute little graphic novel, or more like a bind-up of little comics that are cutesy but also riddled with dark humor, and it's just such a fun time. I read this one last year and I've definitely been looking forward to reading it again just because it's such a fun time. So I feel like this would be a good book to pick up for this reading vlog, just because I don't really want to start another novel. I think that's the best idea. But for tonight, I think I'm just gonna go with poetry and maybe kind of go and relax in bed. I just sat here and read Twistwood Tales in one sitting. It is such a cutesy, fun, quick read, and I love the characters and the dark humor in it so much. If this at all seems like it could be your vibe, I highly recommend it. It is so much fun. It was a little gem that I found in a bookstore one day, and I had never heard of it before, but I'm so glad that I ended up actually picking it up and buying it because it's definitely one of my favorite graphic novels. It's just such a good time. I cannot say enough good things about this book, so obviously it's 5 stars to me still. And then earlier I finished Poems Bewitched and Haunted, and this collection was all right to me. I did enjoy quite a few of the poems, but some of them just were not my favorite and they weren't super spooky. So I think I'm gonna rate this one at 3 stars just because I did love some but not so much others. Definitely helped to picture some of them being read in like a creepy witchy kind of voice, because then it kind of made it sound like a creepy spell or something like that, and it gave it more of like a Halloween kind of vibe. But it was still pretty fun to read at this time of year, and it was definitely a really fun one to read outside, like in the leaves and stuff like that too. So still a really good read, just some were not as good as others. But on that note, I think I'm going to wrap this up and leave this reading vlog here because I do want to start a reading for 24 hours video. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.